This is a one-way brass plumbing valve, and I went out and bought it because a while back I made a video on a one-way brass valve, and it was a spring type. This is a flapper type, and I'd had a lot of questions about the flapper type. I talked about it a little bit in the other video, and so I thought I would finally go out and make this video. I bought this, but this video is not going to be the video I thought it was. This is going to be an expose video. First of all, let's just take a look around it and see if anything is kind of odd about this. First of all, I noticed this little blob right here. You see that? Yeah, and right here you'll notice that the lights flare a lot right there, but not so much around here. And up here, there are two tones in the paint. I think you can see that. Yeah, this has literally been painted with a brass textured paint. And I'm not sure why you do that. I mean, typically you finish brass and then you put some kind of a clear coat on it so that it doesn't turn brown or whatever. And then you're good to go. But that kind of tipped me off that something was going on, that maybe I should inspect this a little more carefully. So I took out this little nut, this little, it's a pin retaining nut, and I took off this cap, which you normally don't take off. And I started looking around, and we'll get in super close up, and you can see what I found. Let's do a quick walk around so that when we do get in close, we know what we're looking at. Here is a pin retainer, and it literally is the hinge pin for the flapper on the inside. We'll look at that in a second. This is the valve body, and then we have one end. The flapper's in there. Again, we'll look at it from a different perspective. This is the other side, and then there's this upper cap, and this is not normally removed in use. This is strictly for inserting the flapper valve. It's yeah, it's just a part of the manufacturing process. I've removed this upper cap, and in here you can see the flapper like that, and then there's this hinge right there, and you can barely see the pin on each side of it. One side there, the other side. And this brass plug just holds that pin in place. So it's been drilled and then the pin inserted and this brass plug put in there. Okay, so now we've seen enough of this that we can get in close and see what I found that was, yeah, not good. These are the threads that secure that upper cap on there. And yeah, they don't look wonderful. Around here they look a little crude, but okay, maybe. Let's pivot around to the other side, and oh my, look at that. Oh man, can you believe that? Look at that. It's just, there are no threads. It's just the unfinished casting of the brass. And yeah, so that's a real alarm type thing, because the only thing keeping this from leaking now is the mating of these two surfaces, this one and then the cap. And yeah, when I took this off, there was a lot of kind of a clear glue on here, and I see why they did it. It's just wow. I mean, wow. There's no way you could finish that out of there. I mean, the casting was just bad, should have never been used. Okay, let's look at another spot. So this is where this little plug came out of, and if we check on the threads right there, those look pretty normal, but let's look around on this side, see if I can hold this in focus. And yeah, those are totally flat on the top. There is no, I mean, they're just barely cut in there. So it's not even like bad casting or something. It's as if the tap or whatever was worn, or I don't know. I'm not quite sure what causes that to be flat on one side and not on the other. But wow, and this was also heavily glued in place. So I think they anticipated it leaking. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this. I certainly wouldn't use it in my house, and you know, this is some serious defects, and I guess my recommendation is if you're going to buy, you know, some of this offshore low-cost plumbing stuff, that you inspect it before you install it, because something like this behind the wall would be a real issue. Okay, well that was it. I hope you find that useful in your DIY home plumbing stuff.